Hello, everybody. This is James with the Unity of Greenville. Appreciate you being with me this fine day that we're having. So far, so good. So, how's your day looking? You got some busyness, some things that you just have to get done, deadlines. Instead of deadlines, I like to have lifelines, yeah, if you know what I mean. So, I'm glad that you're with me on this fine day because I've got some interesting thoughts and ideas for you to contemplate, consider whether or not they would be appropriate for you. Would they work if you were to begin to use these principles, these ideas that I'm going to be sharing today? You say, James, well, what are you talking about? Well, I'm talking about the power of trust. Hashtag trust. And more specifically, trusting the higher mind. Trusting the higher mind. We all have a little mind, a limited mind that only can think so far and go so deep and reach so high. But God is an absolute intelligence, and we contain this inner intelligence, this brilliance inside of us. We simply need to connect with it on a regular basis and trust that we are in the flow of oneness with it, that we are in alignment with the divine. I align with the divine. We already have all of the divinity that we need while we are here in this world. I want to repeat that. You already have all of the divinity that you will need while you are in this world. You've got all the amount of God that you need. It was born in you. It is the substance of you. It is the life of you. It's what keeps you alive. It is what supports you. It's what undergirds you. It is the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding. And it is always available to us anytime we need it. This brilliance that you are, that we are, is on the inside. Our task is to learn to access it, to access this divine power. So there is a way of being that becomes a prayer for whatever you need. Did you know that your life can be a prayer? That your whole life becomes a prayer. And we know that it is through our prayers and hopefully affirmative prayers that we begin to become more attractive and we radiate a vibration. We radiate a frequency, a higher frequency of faith, of love, and of positive trust. I believe that the source of all life is within me. Whatever I need is in me now, and I can access it through the power of trust. Now, in Proverbs 3:6, it says, trust in the Lord or the higher mind with all of your heart. That is your affections, your feelings, your awareness, your inner awareness. And do not lean on your own understanding, because our own understanding sometimes says, hey, things should be this way or that way. And if it's any other way, then it's not right. Well, that's limited understanding because there's many ways things can be and can come together. In all of your ways, acknowledge him, her, it, the higher mind, and your paths will be made straight or will be straightened out. You ever walk a crooked path and it's like you just can't get to where you're going? You're going through a maze and you can't find the end and you wonder, "Well, what the heck is going on here?" That's when you need to stop for a moment. You said, yes, but I'm in a hurry. I've got to get it done. Well, you didn't keep winding through the path. That the idea is to stop and to reassess and to consider, where am I right now? What am I doing? And ask and receive, believe it and receive it, that you have divine wisdom. And receive that wisdom. Acknowledge that wisdom. Walk in that wisdom. You see, our biggest issue in life is trust. We don't know who or what to trust in. As children, we trusted our parents, we trusted the adults in our lives. And for some, that was a good experience, it was a positive experience. But for some, it was not so good. And trust issues developed. So until your trust issues are resolved, you will continue to be in a state of fear and you will have feelings of insecurity. You will not be confident in yourself. It's important to resolve these fears. What is fear? Fear is a lack of trust in the divine order, a lack of trust in the flow of life, a lack of trust in the universe and the universal principles, a lack of trust in the positive good. But here's the thing. We all trust in something every minute of the day. Every time you sit down on your favorite chair, you trust that that chair is going to hold you up. Every time you plug something into an electrical outlet, you're expecting electricity to flow through that appliance and make it work. There's a lot of trust we put in life. When I walk outside, I expect the ground to hold me up. I trust that it will. When I look up at the sky and I see the weather, I trust that if it's sunshine, that, I'm going to not have to use an umbrella. Or if I see rain clouds, guess what? I trust in that moment that I'm going to have to use my trusty umbrella. So the answer is to trust in the higher mind that is always leading you to the higher good. Trust in the higher mind that there is this divine intelligence. It's working everything out for your positive good, for your best. Now, some people think that that's not true, that there isn't a higher good. But if you talk to them long enough, you see that they believe in a lower bad. They're very critical. Something's going to happen. Something's going to go wrong. And what that is that is a reflection of a negative attitude. It is a reflection of a feeling and a belief of insecurity and fear. So true wisdom is to positively trust in the source of all life. That's wisdom. The word wisdom, you break it down, you turn it around. It says the wisdom or the domain of the wise. What is the domain of the wise? It is to trust in the source of all life, in that organizing intelligence that is working everything together for your and my benefit. It's all moving toward the positive good. Now, people will look at the world and they say, hey, it doesn't look all positive and all good to me. Well, that's because sometimes we're not really paying attention to the bigger picture. We're seeing little isolated events and say, oh, there's an earthquake there, and stuff happens. Yeah, there is that. There are floods. Yes, there are. There are fires. There are hurricanes or tornadoes. There is violence in the streets. All of that is true, but on the other side of it, the higher truth is that all of this are just signs of something is shaking loose. All of these energies are working together to work with us, to help us to move into a more positive direction in life. Human beings, one of these days, are going to have to figure out that to blame, accuse, shame, and criticize each other is not the way of peace. It's not the way to resolve conflict. It's not the way to bring healing to the planet, right? We've got to figure that out. And so you and I, students of truth and students of life, we understand that there's a higher order, there's a better way to do things. It's like for years we had a horse and buggy, and I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but horses, they need a lot of food, and they have outdoor bathroom habits constantly. And at one point we moved into cars, the Model A, and now that we have these wonderful cars today, these gasoline cars, these hybrid cars, these electric cars, all of this, So we're moving in the right direction. We can see it outwardly, we can see it inwardly. People are concerned and are more focused on their spirituality more than ever before. More than ever before. Believe it or not, if you look around, I think you'll see it. Now, sometimes we walk in a particular direction that is not a clear path. The circumstance and choices that we make is used to bring us to where we need to be. So the divine uses the circumstances and the soil of our lives in order to guide, direct us, and to lead us to where we need to be. And then we make choices along the way, and sometimes those choices will be helpful and will make the path more clear. Okay? No matter what happens or where I find myself, if I can lean into the higher mind, I will always get some kind of benefit from it. Always. You'll always get some kind of benefit from leaning into the higher mind, trusting in the Lord, trusting in God, trusting in the universe. You can't miss your good if you stay in a state of trusting and flow, because when you're trusting, you're in flow. You're more apt to be in alignment and in oneness with the divine and with others. It doesn't even matter what your current circumstance is right now. It can be used to bring forth a higher quality of life. You see, we make all kinds of choices, and choices are good. And it is through our choices that we learn to make greater, higher, better, more quality choices as we go along. So you need to make choices. And even if the choice leads you in a direction that you realize you don't want to go, you can always reassess, redirect, refocus, and go in a new direction. But we need to make those choices. So have you made bad choices? Engaged? Have you ever engaged with a con artist or received a troubling diagnosis? Have you ever been abandoned by a partner? Any and all of these challenges can be used in a positive way through positive trust to experience a greater quality of life. So think about that. You can experience a greater quality of living, of being, of experience through the simple art of trust. I trust in the positive good, and I am always at the right place at the right time. I have whatever I need whenever I need it. The higher mind knows how to get me from where I am to where I need and want to be. The higher mind will lead me and guide me, for I am in alignment with the higher mind, and I'm confident in the choices that I make. And I learn through the choices that I make. I'm growing every day. I'm becoming stronger, wiser. I'm allowing the brilliance of divinity that is in me to shine through me, to radiate from my life. And I'm experiencing a higher, better quality of life. And those are the kinds of affirmations that help you to connect with this intelligence. Sometimes you just ask a question. Where do I go from here? And then you make a declaration, a statement that says, I will be led, and I do know where to go. And the intelligence within me is directing me, guiding me, leading me to where I need to be. Let's take a breath of that. Whew. So trust in the higher mind. Put some positive trust into your life. It takes some renewing of your thinking and also the changing of some of the feelings that you have. And then the acting upon the truth that you know in the moment and trusting in that everything is working out for your higher good. All right. If you'd like to make a donation to Unity, to our Unity community, I invite you to go to our website, unitychurchofgreenville.org, and make a donation there. We have some wonderful events coming up on February 25th. Mariel Cheek is a radical forgiveness coach, and she will be leading a workshop. A lot of people have situations and they have anger issues and resentment, unforgiveness in their lives. This would be a powerful way for you to deal with many of those issues and to become more clear and more aware and more trusting in your life. We also have a wonderful concert coming up March the 10th with Blake Sims. And Blake, during this concert, it's really a show. All right. And it's really a journey where he talks about his life, and he talks about how as a child he thought one way and grew up and through several songs he's going to reveal his journey and what he has learned and how he has overcome. It's going to be an amazing show, and I invite you to go to our website and check it out and get your tickets. We're already starting to, we haven't sold out yet, but I have a feeling that we're going to. And so if you want to be in a part of that and you want to come out on Friday, March the 10th, we'll have a wonderful dessert bar, all kinds of wonderful goodies that you can eat and share. And it's going to be a wonderful event that you really don't want to miss. And there's lots of other things that we have going on in our Unity community. So check us out, unitychurchofgreenville.org, and see what you think. Thanks for being with me today. I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you at our Sunday celebration at 10:30. And we'll be talking about love and the golden rule and what does all that mean. We're going to talk a little bit about non-resistance and how to be a better version of yourself in the world today. So thanks for being with me now. I'll see you soon. Take care.